Plenty to applaud coming up, I'm sure. Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa from the City Ground, live for you after the break.
Today, Super Sunday comes from the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa, live from Sky Sports. Our commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Well, it's climactically an amazing afternoon here. Look at that skyline. Underfoot, the undersoil heating has done its job. Bitterly cold in Nottingham. There's always the risk of fog down here by the River Trent, but happily we start in very good visibility. Paul Durkin will appreciate that. Nottingham Forest to kick off. Their plans changed at the last minute dramatically with the Ian Woan situation. On the plus side, Jason Lee pass fit, Steve Stone pass fit. He's had a troublesome knee recently, and Terry Venables will be watching him, I'm sure, very closely this afternoon, with England's midfield looking rather depleted. Quick throw from the other Forest member of the England squad, Stuart Pearce.
That left side of it could well be a key area. Even already in the first minute, you see Stuart Pearce there bombing down that left side. And with no one really directly facing him, Martin, he might be able to travel with the ball an awful long way today.
Aston Villa, the last club to find the right recipe for taking 3 Premiership points from Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. Joy for Villa back in January. There's Taylor in quickly for Villa. And their smart change strip. Ekyog coming into the back of Lee, but playing the ball. Dwight York, who's the senior man up front really now for Aston Villa, and is responding to that responsibility. And a very good season to this point. Here's Southgate, who has been on the left of the back three for Brian Little, but with Paul McGrath away with the Republic of Ireland. It's Southgate in the centre. Taylor. Well, we were saying earlier, Andy, that Ian Taylor and Mark Draper, who are goal-getting midfield players, are in a bit of a drought at the moment.
Both to a goal. That's a very positive run. Dwight York cleverly dropped off play, dropped really deep and picked the ball up, and by doing so left the gap for Taylor to charge through into. And only just dragged his shot narrowly wide.
At 27, Ian Taylor is the oldest of this very young Aston Villa team, average age around 23. Forward by Shimaka. It's a mistake by Chettle. Milosevic. Gary Charles, of course, started here with Nottingham Forest. The crowd recognising that fact. Giving him a bit of the bird as the ball reached him. Stoke. Couldn't get past Wright. Here's Tommy Johnson. Wright. York.
Good pace about the game now, the opening couple of minutes. Both teams look to be zipping about the ball about in this very slick surface. You're right, the undersoil heat has, well, it's worked. Done its job, but it's made the surface really slick. First touch has got to be good today.
Well, but for it, I don't think the game would have been started. The surrounds are very, very hard indeed now.
That's the one I'd be looking for. If I was a goalkeeper across there, I'd be looking for Stuart Pearce every time. And that's what Milosevic or Dwight York has to do. That's part of your job as a front man today for Villa, is to get over and contact with Stuart Pearce as much as you can when you lose the ball.
Bosnich taking over. Chettle. Well, Nottingham Forest did English football crowd in the UEFA Cup in midweek, but strict orders from Frank Clark to forget about Europe now. They don't tangle with Bayern Munich until early March. This is the right kind of fixture to concentrate the minds domestically. The Midlands derby. York. Aston Villa have begun well. Milosevic. Press back by Cooper. Here's Draper. There's Little, whose late goal, a very rare goal from him, and Forest a point at Villa Park earlier in the season. Efjok. Blocked by Howe. This is York. Taylor coming onto it. Cooper left it to Pearce. Taylor still pressed, hoping for a corner, but it's a goal kick.
Well, the bright starts come from the visitors. Villa have started very positively, very brightly. The passing's been good, movement's been good. York's been involved an awful lot. They're looking to feed it into his feet. And I think when a side drops off as deep as Forest does, then your passing has to be good. And Villa's have started off well.
Johnson, who, like Draper, learnt his trade here in Nottingham. That's the Trent at Notts County. Draper, in fact, a boyhood Forest fan. Little. Covering the attempt of Little and Stone to manufacture something down the Forest right. Milosevic, and if he'd have got more angle on it, Tommy Johnson would have been in.
Nice give and go from Johnson. Left Des Little for dead.
Well, the two sides separated by 1 place and 2 points. Lee, but no one on the left. It may well have been that Scott Gemmell would have been left out today, but for the Ian Wine situation. Frank Clark hasn't been totally satisfied with Forest's recent league displays and was thinking of some fine-tuning for his team selection today, and Haaland certainly gives a presence in midfield, an aggressive competitor. Taylor on for Johnson. Milosevic already in the middle, others joining him.
It's a pity. They worked the position really well again, Aston Villa.
2 up for Forest, 3 back for Villa. And Howe just chipping away at the bigger man, Efjok. Sweet turn by Bart Williams, letting the ball do the work for him. Chettle. Here's Cooper. Haaland's made a forward run. The ball was rather obvious, and Alan Wright was always in control. Haaland's lost his place in the Norwegian side because he hasn't been able to maintain a place in Nottingham Forest side, so he's got plenty to play for. Who's only been converted to central defender this season and has already played for the England under-21s. Looking for some sympathy from Paul Durkin, nothing given. Forrest definitely playing on with Pearce. Gemmell. Didn't get very far. Taylor sorted out. Milosevic. Well, Villa forcing the pace of the game, but Nottingham Forest won't be too troubled by that as long as they keep them out of harm's way, because they are great counter-attackers.
Yeah, but they'll be anxious, Mark. They've put nothing together themselves yet. They've hardly got past this point in the pitch. They've hardly been in Villa's last third. Villa have dominated, well, they're dictating the game at the moment. They've pressed the ball well and made Forest play quick passes when they probably didn't want to. They've given away possession far too easily, Nottingham Forest.
The outlet here is right. Milosevic. Forest getting a lot of players around him, but it's still Savo Milosevic. Pearce shows that he can use his right foot. Challenged well by Howe. And we're working the touchline. Well, Pearce was aiming for Lee, but it's rather typical of Forest work in the opening 10 minutes. The passing hasn't been crisp. Bart Williams puts Little in a bit of pressure here.
Well, that's been typical of the opening 10 minutes, Mark, the pressure that Villa put. Even look at this on Crossley. That's been typical of the way Villa have started this game. Any ball popped into a player, someone's there. Straight.
Frank Clark very much with his mind on the job here. He's taking time off on Tuesday to join us as a studio guest for the England match at Wembley. Milosevic.
He didn't help him. He apologised. The hand went up from Alan Wright. He really did fire that into Dwight York. Yeah, get a hold of that, he said.
And Haaland, glad to see a chance to get his foot to the ball, knocking it out of play. With a certain amount of urgency that Forest might be feeling at the moment. In the early stages, they are being somewhat outgunned in midfield. Aston Villa looking by far the more effective of the two teams in these early passages of play. Farmers will be pleased with the way his side has started. Stone. Bennell coming infield. Well, he has been playing, but as the ball bounced up, he used an arm to control it. Here's Haaland. Gemma. Good movement by Howe ahead of him. And Haaland getting in behind the Villa midfield. And the captains are poised on the ball. Stone, and the runner here is Little. Haaland goes near post, and Lee was attracted to that area as well. That's where the space was.
That's a great ball in. If you're wide and you play a ball in there and it's going past the near post, and the goalkeeper's picking it up in the middle of his goal, then you really need someone across the face. Someone's got to be in there a little earlier, really taking a chance, really wanting to score. Des Little's done his job as far as I'm concerned.
Pearce. Gareth Southgate, who certainly thought of himself at Crystal Palace last season as a midfield player, has caught the eye in a defensive role since his move to the Midlands. Southgate wins the header. In behind Shimaka. Of Italian origins, his family own an Italian restaurant in the Birmingham area.
I've eaten there, it's very nice.
perks for the Villa coaching staff when you remember of it.
Are you sure? Perks had to pay.
But it was still nice.
Very nice.
Johnson supporting Milosevic on the left-hand side. That was good support play. It obviously didn't develop into the right kind of shot. But it was interesting then, Andy, as Johnson went forward and Taylor went forward, Draper quite conspicuously dropped off the pace to take up the holding role. So they're trying to balance it out in that area.
They're doing well, and they've done well with that, particularly Taylor and Draper, because those are the two you would expect to take turns. It's almost as if to say, well, I did it that time, you go next time, and I'll just sit. And so far it's worked really well for them. But that's when concentration comes into it. Because they dominate the game so much at the moment that they might just be tempted to put everyone forward.
Broken up well by Southgate. Taylor's committed lead. York. The versatility of Gareth Southgate that has attracted Terry Venables. Now, Southgate's in there to seize it back for Villa again. This is Johnson. I think it was just played towards Milosevic, not very well. Draper very nearly made something of it. Forrest, in fact, give it straight back to Gary Charles. Forward by Gemmell, Lee trying to make something of it. Hornet can take it on at pace. Two in the centre, one of whom is Stone. Now trying to fizz the cross in. Johnson.
Oh, that was a better break. The first we've really seen from Forrest. Quickly from defence to attack. Well, I just thought the ball was delayed a little bit for Steve Stone. I thought an earlier cross would have benefited him more.
Johnson, who's done well against Nottingham Forest in the past. Not this time.
I know an awful lot of the play is breaking down in the edge of the box, and that won't please Brian Little, although he's been enjoying a lot of possession. They haven't really tested Mark Crossley at all, and he'll know that Forrest are comfortable backing off to the edge of the box. That's when they really begin defending, I think, Forrest, about 25 yards from goal. And so far they've done all right with that, but I would still be alarmed at the way they've given the ball away. This has been as poor 17 minutes of passing that I've seen from Forrest this season.
Charles, who played in the FA Cup final for Forest in '91, and of course was on the wrong end of that wild kick by Paul Gascoigne that damaged Gascoigne's knee so severely. He wasn't able to really move on at this club since at Derby and now at Aston Villa. Forest, like Brian Clough's sides of old, are based on a very sound defensive policy. We saw it on Tuesday, though. Those Lyon forwards must have been the only workers in France unable to strike last week. Mark Crossley, of course, played a part in that, and there's a goalkeeper growing in stature, maturing as a person, and wondering about whether he might take up his ancestral qualifications for Scotland. Born, of course, in England, in Yorkshire. Had a bit of encouragement to that aim by my co-commentator an hour or so before the match began. Sloppy work from Forrest again, Lee that time, but it's not just been him. Draper. A lot in this formation asked of the wide men, Alan Wright and Gary Charles, and Wright has done particularly well here. Johnson has a chance, a sighted goal.
I'm not sure what he was trying. I think he got caught in two minds, Tommy Johnson, between just crossing it or trying to flick it to that far post or actually go for goal. I wondered whether Alan Wright was going to toss it in. They got Milosevic, got York wanting to attack it. Picks out Johnson really well. He's done nothing really, has he? He's neither crossed the ball nor made the goalkeeper work.
Well, he was given time then, and I think probably as a player who's got a good goal-scoring record, he's a bit annoyed with himself for not making more of the time and actually blasting it at goal instead of just looping it very tamely off target. Schumacher. Only Lee forward for Forest as they try and get behind the ball and get their tackles in, but they haven't done that. This is Taylor. Good save by Crossley.
That's super football from Aston Villa. They got a little bit lucky when Dwight York kind of dwelt on the ball edge of the box and it broke for them. The build-up was super, and then Taylor again, the furthest forward player, turns on it and he hits it really sweetly. A save typical of the form the goalkeeper's in.
20 minutes gone. All Aston Villa. And their corner. And Johnson. Claiming that it was deflected. Not by much.
It was only slight.
He's got a corner.
And I think that's the thing that's been disappointing. Tommy Johnson's had about 5 shots already in the opening 20 minutes. And he hasn't come near hitting the target. This one is slightly deflected, not by an awful lot.
Short corner on here, and finally there's some movement from Little. Bart Williams gets his head to it. It was right on the call. Johnson left it. Now Forest can counter-attack with Hawlett. Bart Williams and Howe. But Charles has got the speed of recovery, and he uses the ball well, having got to it. Good play from Draper as well. Milosevic. Williams, Lee, now Little, now trying to get across, but territorially, and that backs up, Andy, what we've been saying.
Well, you do tend to see Forest defend at times at home. We've said it often enough, Mark, but I mean, this has been domination.
Johnson, and Crossley had to make sure he claimed it. If he pushed it out, York was on hand.
Well, I bet you Tommy Johnson's never had as many shots in an away game in 90 minutes as he's had in this opening half of the first half. But then again, what happens? How did Villa get on the attack? Forest's passing was poor and sloppy. They gave the ball away deep in their own half, and away were Johnson and York.
Here is York. Draper. Get it to feet. Johnson. Another shot. And that was the best so far by some distance.
Well, I always say you can tell by a goalkeeper's reaction whether it's close and whether they're scrambling across goal. And Crossley was, but this is it. Look, Johnson drops off. He's in acres of space. They decide to come and press him. It's only fractionally wide. Super strike. This is the best of the lot from Tommy Johnson. And about half a dozen now from that sort of range. And he's getting closer.
Well, Nottingham Forest are giving him shooting practice. And happily for Forest, practice hasn't yet made perfect. Howe. Gemmell. Howe's gone to the left. Gemmell going his own way. Free kick given against Southgate, and Paul Durkin has decided that was sinister enough to book Southgate for it, Andy.
There's not been a tackle in the match. This frustrates me about referees sometimes. It's been a lovely flowing football match. There's hardly been a tackle in it. That was hardly worthy of the name tackle, and yet we've got a yellow card.
Well, Forest have found it very, very hard to get within range of Bosnich's goal.
Wouldn't it just be football? Villa dominated for 25 minutes, and Stuart Pearce or Colin Cooper smashing it in from there.
Well, they're certainly the two to have a good long look at the possibilities at this free kick. Cooper takes it, the wall stands firm. Now Pearce clips it up. Bosnich comes, Lee going in, and above the din, the blast on the referee's whistle. Well, he's been properly appreciated, Jason Lee, not by Mark Bosnich there, I'm sure, but by all at Nottingham Forest, the way he's upped his game this season. Collymore gone, Brian Roy out until the new year. Under contention at the moment with injury. He's been out of sight of the City ground this week. Now I'm quite sure where he is. He's certainly not fit. So a lot of responsibility on Lee, but at the moment, Forrest finding it very, very hard to get the ball anywhere near him and his partner today, Howe. It's Lee now. Draper anticipated well. Cooper. Well, if Southgate's been booked, there's no reprieve for Johnson.
No defence in this one, is there? Stones away, just drives in between, right. And that's a typical striker's tackle, I would think. Best way to describe that.
Pearce. Flag is up against Howe. Stephen Howe on the match programme. Bobby Howe to everybody here at Nottingham Forest. Well, it's the one negative for Aston Villa at this point. They haven't scored for all their good play and for all the times they've got into shooting positions, particularly Tommy Johnson. He plays it forward here, and the linesman puts up his flag. It's only 22, Savo Milosevic. It's a new life, a new culture for him, coming from the former Yugoslavia. He scored the 5 away goals, not yet on target, as many of you know, I'm sure, at Villa Park. Those 5 away goals have helped produce 7 away points for Aston Villa. Cooper giving Pearce absolutely no chance. Charles. More pace and promise about this from Nottingham Forest. Final ball though, let them down.
It's the first time they actually had men in the area, in the attack. I felt they've been a bit short getting men up to join Lee and Howe in particular. But this time, Haaland and Steve Stone were both in the box. In they come, there's 3 of them flying into the 18-yard box, but the cross was a poor one.
You feel that the cold's got into the Nottingham Forest feet. And cold it certainly is. Ekyok. Charles. Draper. Typically Buster's challenge from Pearce, and he got the ricochet as well.
You wouldn't have taken a bet on that, would you? Who was winning that tackle?
Pearce, if he gets through the 90 minutes unscathed, off to join up with the England squad. Before that, on Sky Sports, you'll be able to see our Monday Night Football, Everton and West Ham from Goodison Park, where I believe there's also under-soil heating, so hopefully no worries about the weather there. Upon Merseyside, England against Portugal. If you want to watch it live, Sky Sports is the channel for you. We start at 7. Has a touch of tendinitis in a knee. That's the fitness concern for Frank Clark and indeed for Terry Venables as well. Southgate was a bit lucky then. His first touch wasn't quite as assured as much of his previous work in this match in this season. Milosevic has kept it in. They've got players arriving in the centre. They want a good cross here. It was to an area where no one was making a move. Paul Milosevic, really.
Well, it wasn't a great cross in all honesty, Mark. They had time to look up and miss out that near post area. 2 Forest players were in there. But again, the movement, the touch was again to admire in the build-up from Aston Villa.
Draper. Still Draper. Taylor.
I mean, that's where Forest have it. The only thing they'll be happy about, Forest, I feel, in this opening half hour is the fact that Villa have been restricted to shooting basically, apart from that one Taylor shot when he tongue in the 18-yard box. Most of the shots have been from about 18 to 25 yards. So they're setting up camp at the edge of the box and saying, go on then, you'll have to try and play your way through. Villa haven't quite been able to do that. And you just get the feeling there's going to be a time in the game when Forest are going to ask 1 or 2 questions of their own. And, you know, Aston Villa then they begin to rue the opportunities they've had to take the lead in this opening half hour.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about Bayern Munich in these parts. Nottingham Forest paired with them in the UEFA quarter-finals. Of course, Nigel Spink remembers Bayern Munich. His second game for Villa, that European Cup final of 1982. His first game, incidentally, was here in 1979 against Forest. This is Johnson. Little made sure the goalkeeper wasn't required then.
They've had trouble with 2 central midfield players of Forest when Tommy Johnson's dropped into that area. They've really terrible problems trying to pick up 3 of them. And invariably Johnson's found space, or Draper, or Taylor.
Little. Gemmell coming into the centre to try and help out. Paulett. Ekiol made sure the ball didn't get past him.
Well, you and I haven't been sitting here looking to the right very often in this half.
Test of Bosnich's concentration, perhaps. A corner to be taken by Chris Bart-Williams. Chappell and Cooper have joined Jason Lee, and the corner in keeping with the way Forest have played to this point. And ball by Milosevic, but Forest in possession. Pearce. Home support anxious at the moment. Johnson. Holland. Before getting himself out of trouble neatly. His kick wasn't a great one. That was the angle of the challenge there by York. He's always going to collide with Bart-Williams. can't have been booked for the foul.
No, he's been booked because he threw the ball to the ground. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
It's Ian Taylor.
Yeah, he threw the ball to the ground, Martin, in frustration because a free kick was given against Dwight York.
Lee, well, he won it. And Forest haven't won too much in terms of plaudits so far. Should be in command. Not the most decisive piece of defending, though, and Stone can take it up for Forest. Now they have got players forward. Bart Williams lets fly. Third booking of the game, which has certainly not been a violent contest. Southgate. Cooper keeping his eye on the ball, not to be distracted by York. He's hoping for a mistake. It's a testimonial year for Stuart Pearce, much deserved. He's got Newcastle United scheduled for his match at the end of the season. York. Shimmiker, who did play further forward in his early days at Aston Villa. Heads back towards the halfway line now. Milosevic.
This is where the contest's taking place. It's Villa's possession in this 30-40 yards from goal and Forest defending. And at the moment, that's been pretty even. Lots of possession again, looking both ways. Nice and patient from Villa. Forest getting plenty men behind the ball, plenty men deep.
And Pearce gave it straight to Johnson. York. Bosley makes a sound save again. Another Aston Villa shot. Another opportunity not taken. Well, it is amazing the transformation at Aston Villa. Brian Little. There are 7 of his signings in the 11 you're watching here. And I think that they won here in January. Dean Saunders is a scorer. John Fashanu with his last ever goal in league football. Injured at Old Trafford shortly after that and forced to retire. So many changes. And things have settled down very quickly for a manager who's always had Aston Villa very much in his heart from the days when he played alongside Andy Gray. Little, there's Little, that is. York getting the better of Bart Williams. Charles coming down the right-hand side. 3 to pick out in the centre. And he did pick out one of them, York, who scored against Arsenal with a great header last week.
And very similar to the cross, it arrived at him a little bit behind him at Arsenal, but he adjusted really well. I think this one he arrived a little bit behind him. Again, you see, he has to stop, he has to go back towards the ball. He didn't get such a good touch on that one.
And Forrest just got a bit closer to him, perhaps, in the shape of Haaland there.
Did you see how quickly Charles was in on the attack, Martin? They broke from this near side, and as soon as York controlled it and was looking wide, and the full-back was there. And that's what this system allows both Wright and Charles to do.
I remember Gary Gary Charles starting here as an 18-year-old with Nottingham Forest. He did play as a winger in his early games. Of course, won a couple of England caps under Graham Taylor. Villa continue to dominate the possession.
That's pretty dominant. And when you think Brian Little was a manager who was tagged as a man who liked to play it long at Leicester when he was in charge, well, this Villa side, from what I've seen this season, likes to pop the ball about. It's got players who have got good movement and a good hunger for the game. I think that's important. They all look as if they want to play. They want to get on the ball.
Is certainly doing it his way with his players. His staff, of course, changes behind the scenes as well. Pearce staying down, so he must be in some pain. Not for long. Stone. Well, in theory, with Alan Wright playing so far up the pitch, there should be space in behind him. But Schumacher is veering to the left-hand side. Forest haven't been able to get a runner into that area or the ball into that area. Now Schumacher trips Haaland. And Paul Birkin doesn't reach for the yellow card. With Pearce. Lee. That might fall for Pearce. Player who scored 80 goals for Nottingham Forest.
It did fall for Pearce.
Cavalier charges like that.
Not deliberately. Jason Lee's not looking for Pearce. Pearce wants this back. He makes that run. But they get a little bit of luck with the deflection off Hjog. I'll tell you what, I've known Pearce hit them better than that, even though it was at full stretch. It wasn't an easy chance.
Well, they've been on the receiving end for much of the first half, but as it draws to a close, something of an attacking flurry here from Nottingham Forest. And here's Stone. And hard to imagine them as the home side, the way this game is shaped up to this point. Pearce. Little. Lee. Such a big target. He not too much on the attempt to pushing the ball down. Draper. York. Not really thinking about a shot from that distance. Charles. York again. Again in this area where Forest funnel back. Schumacher. And that's a moral victory to the home side then. They'd be happy if the attempts at goal are restricted to that sort of area. But they haven't been totally in the first half, in which Nottingham Forest have not lived up to their European billing, if you like. Bart Williams. Lee. Strong against the much smaller Alan Wright. Little. Can't get past Wright. He just couldn't break into the Blackburn team over the last couple of seasons with the arrival of Graham Lasso. It was Kenny Dalglish's first signing for Blackburn. So the night has been reactivated by Aston Villa. Draper. York. Chetler's the defender. And then Haaland helping out. Well, Gemmel's being asked to do two jobs really, to help out in the centre, and then he's got to try and get left, cut out that supply with Gary Charles having so much space. Johnson coming in on the cross. But I feel a bit sorry for Scott Gemmell.
Oh, I feel sorry for all the midfield players. They're really having trouble, but that was a glorious opportunity. And Charles puts the cross in, and Tommy Johnson attracts everyone and just gets a touch on this now. Dwight York's at the back post, and completely unmarked, completely on his own. He's only just out of shot. He was not very far away from that.
Well, Villa have won at Tottenham, at Coventry, at West Ham and at Southampton. And they look good enough to win here at Nottingham Forest as we come towards half-time. Oh, Crossley would have had egg on his face if someone had just poached a goal then after that little fumble.
There's two schools of thought going into half-time, isn't there? Frank Clark, who desperately wants to hear, I'm sure, a half-time whistle to get his team going, to shake them about a bit, and maybe make one or two changes tactically. And Brian Little, who's saying, please, don't let the whistle go. Just keep this first half going. We must score. And that's what he'll be feeling, because he knows that Frank Clark will have a right pop on his side at half-time.
Pierce. We just might have one or two words for the dressing room at half-time as well, to exhort and encourage for the second half. Forest having plenty of room for improvement. And now Bosnich just had to make a meaningful save. Haaland follows up, beats the goalkeeper, but couldn't
Give it a
angle put it in.
He obviously thinks it's got a deflection, either off Ricky Shemeka, the goalkeeper. He almost dives past this Mark Bosnich. You see, he's almost ahead of the ball. Gets up very quickly, though, and I think we were both right. It comes off the post, didn't touch anyone, but obviously the referee thought he saw or heard a slight deflection.
Mark Williams with the corner. It's Cooper going in. The whistle goes for half-time. Well, Aston Villa, knowing a win today would take them third in the table, and for most of the first half they've played like a side good enough to be third in the table, but they haven't taken their chances. Will they rue that? Will Forest improve? Frank Clark will hope so. They've been poor to this point. It's 0-0 at half-time at the City Ground.
This afternoon, Super Sunday comes from Nottingham. Forest's City Ground is our venue. The only team in Europe, of course. That's how we're supplying the pictures from our airships circling above. But their league form of late hasn't been good. Just 2 points from a possible 9 recently, and goalless here at half-time. 6 attempts, 2 on target, 13 from Villa, on target 4 times. 2 corners each, Forest with their second right on half-time. Just 8 fouls committed during the course of that first half, but 3 players in the book already: Johnson, Southgate and Taylor from Aston Villa.
Put a little bit more together going forward.
Do they like to come towards this trend end?
Oh, definitely, yes, yeah, that's the favourite end to attack into, and usually second half. Yeah, the crowd gets behind them. As we saw, you know, the last few minutes of the first half, you know, the crowd will get behind them if they can get a few efforts in on goal.
Or maybe they can suck one in for them at that new trend end. Goalless at half-time. Let's rejoin our match commentators Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Richard. We've been getting reports on the pitch and the state thereof during half-time. The undersoil heating has to be switched off while the game is in progress. But so far, no signs of icy patches on this bitterly cold evening in the East Midlands. Well, this Aston Villa side very much now cast in the image of Brian Little, the manager who's been in charge for just over a year. Trying to carry on in the second half the way they played with the purpose of the first, with a bit more penetration. Milosevic. He writes it on the left foot and is a player who really thrives on goal scoring. Top scorer in the rather disrupted Yugoslavian league for the last 2 seasons. Lee.
I think one of the things that hasn't helped for us is when they've knocked the ball along today, that they haven't had someone has been able to get hold of it and give the midfield a chance to get in contact with him. So often it's been knocked up to Lee and Howe, and it's just coming straight back, and that hasn't given Forest midfield a chance to get up in contact.
Southgate. Well, you just wonder whether that pre-match problem with Ian Woan has had a detrimental effect on the Forest performance. Woan, if you weren't with us earlier, dropped today. And he turned up at the ground expecting to play because of comments and the quotes attributed to him in the national press this morning.
One thing it has affected is the shape of the side. I think that's quite clear. Doug Emmon's not familiar, not happy, but not that comfortable playing in a wide area.
Just where one or two improving signs from Forest as half-time approached. Bosnich at least called into action. Long from Southgate. Clark closer to the action in the second half. 90 minutes is a long time for the away team to dictate at this level. Pressing forward again. Aston Villa. Milosevic for York. An opportunity and a great goal from Dwight York, emphatically put away.
That's a great finish, an absolute gem of a goal. It's been threatened for 45 minutes. The opening couple of minutes of the second half, York and Milosevic just link up beautifully. They get a bit lucky here, but look at that, York. Talk about pass and move. That was a magnificent example from York. Milosevic delivered it back. He does his job. Just give me it back. And York so high in confidence. Superb finish. A great goal all round.
Much merited for Aston Villa. Much in keeping with Dwight York's current mood. Lee lost his footing at the crucial moment. Stone. Haaland found the ball coming just behind him, but Aston Villa in slight danger there of getting caught with that old footballing sucker punch, being at your most vulnerable when you just score. Taylor. But I said earlier how much York is enjoying the responsibility of being the senior striker. It's reflected in the number of goals he's been scoring. It's a 10 now in all competitions this season. Haaland. Oh, that arm right came onto the ball as it bounced up then, and the crowd behind the goal were calling for handball. Bart Williams. Pierce. Howe going in, and Bosnich coming out in the nick of time.
Well, in a funny way, the goal might help Nottingham Forest, Martin, because they've been playing so poorly all game. And at 0-0, they wouldn't have been attempted too much. And now, suddenly, since the goal, they're starting to push forward. He's only fractionally away from getting on the end of that. And the one thing that's happened at Villa a few times this year is when they've gone up in games, they've tended to sit back and drop players off the pace of the game. And if they do that, then that might just be what Forest need to get themselves back in it. But there's certainly a game on now.
Pierce. Cross from Gemmell. Haaland!
Great run from Haaland. Couldn't wish to put a better run in if you're a midfield player to meet across. And the only thing that lets him, there he goes, in behind players, into the danger area. Just a fraction too high. I don't know if he went in with the conviction he was going to score. He really wanted to score. Gets up. Maybe he's just a little bit unlucky. One camera needed behind the goal.
Hit the wrong sort of target. Holland wins another header. Pearce. Blocked by Johnson, who charges on himself. Milosevic to his right. York to the left. The pass wasn't a good one. York saw where Milosevic was. And rather reflecting his mood as well, a bit tentative.
That was a good chance, Martin. If Tommy Johnson had played that right, then Villa might must surely have scored. 3 against 2. Couldn't have wished for any better. I thought he played the ball to York a little too early and a little too badly.
Stone. Lee. York. Lovely turn against Cooper, who's got back goal side. York attacks him again. And beats him again. And he was out-skilled, Colin Cooper. It's another booking in a week in which a yellow card in France means he'll miss the first leg of the UEFA Cup quarter-final against Bayern Munich.
This is what I think Dwight York's at his most dangerous. He's a lovely footballer when he's got the ball at his feet and he's running at defenders. He's got such skill and ability. That is just a small example of it there. Colin Cooper's a good defender, but left completely floundering. The way York's feeling at the moment, Martin, I wouldn't be surprised if he says, listen, just let me hit that, I'll score. He's certainly having some input. This looks like one from the training ground.
Is there, Draper is there, Wright is there. And here is Gary Charles. It might have worked better on the training ground.
And a bit of money on that. You could see what they were building up to. Charles just dropped off. And a good idea, that's where it was going.
Foul by Holland on Johnson. And the card is out again.
Oh dear.
Cooper and Holland booked in quick succession. The Aston Villa players shown the yellow card in the first half. Draper, that's a great ball. Milosevic, oh! Well, it hit Mark Crossley. All credit to him for keeping it out. But it looked a certain score for the Serbian.
Well, you should score. That should be game Aston Villa. You'll never get an easier header in your life. Running in at pace, he doesn't have to jump. All he's got to do is guide it. Mark Crossley's got no chance. All he can do is stand there and hope that Sabo Milosevic does what he did. Hit him straight in the midriff with it. But he really should have tied the game up for Aston Villa there. It was a glorious cross in from Alan Wright. A horrible one for the centre-backs to have to deal with. Great one if you're a striker. And it deserved a goal.
Pearce glaring at Charles. Milosevic comes for Draper, and it came again for Milosevic in the air.
Maybe he's just thinking about the one he missed previously. This was a difficult header, not an easy one, but I think a confident player would have maybe hit the target with this one. He just pulls in at the back. Again, they've got numbers in there. And that one, well, perhaps that was a result of this miss. That's a magnificent cross in from Alan Wright. You're coming in and go on, just anywhere but where you head it. And your team are 2-0 and are probably winning the game.
Draper. Charles. Aston Villa continue to call the tune. Milosevic. Well, up in the Ireland Hotel on Merseyside. I'm sure Messrs McGrath, Staunton and Townsend watching this with great interest. It gives us an opportunity to say good luck to Jack Charlton and all the squad for the challenge against Holland. But the Villa men will be very pleased with how their colleagues are performing here in Nottingham.
You see, they get a little lucky there. That ball was played in for Tommy Johnston, but York particularly reacts so quickly, so bright, has to adjust there. Tucks it onto his left side with his first touch and hits it well. You tell all young strikers to hit it across the goalkeeper. 9 times out of 10 is the best area. York did just that.
Well, Dwight York has been an Aston Villa player for a good few years now. Graham Taylor brought him over to England. And the Villa fans believe he's a bit of a lucky charm, because when York has scored, Villa have only ever lost once. And that was back in 1991.
That must have been there then.
Yes, I think probably were. That was the season when he got 17 goals.
He was top goal scorer, yeah, that's right.
And he's getting on for 50 for the club now. Today his 47. Frank Clark has got to think about making a change, and he's got the angular Italian Andy Silenzi getting stripped for action. Some encouraging words there for him from Kevin Campbell, who's on the comeback trail, played a full 90 minutes in a reserve game last week. Been out for a long time with a damaged back. And Milosevic has given it away. Pierce. Stone. Holland can't get through.
That typifies Villa defensively today when they haven't had the ball, the pressure there. On Stone, then on Holland. They win the ball quickly and they're away themselves.
Milosevic going in again, and Chettle beat him to it. Good supply from the left-hand side again. It was Johnson this time.
There's a lovely flow to the football this afternoon, Aston Villa. This is a good ball in. Steve Gerrard did his job at the near post. First time ball, that's all you're asking of Johnson. Put it in there, you don't need it touching it.
That's the Villa's corner. And off Lee's head on the right side of Johnson, which is not his stronger side. Charles. Fjord. Ball out of play, so Nottingham Forest can take off Bobby Howe, who's found it hard to get into the game, with Nottingham Forest not really getting a supply line to him. And on comes Silenzi, who's taken a while to settle here, and he's got an opportunity to really cement his place in the affection of the Forest fans if he can spearhead a recovery. Aside from the West Midlands, doing more than edging it against the team from the East at the moment. Pierce. Forest still within reach, a recovery not beyond them. Lee drawn away emphatically by Southgate. Stone. pain in that damaged knee. It hasn't really shown in this game. I know Forrest are concerned about his fitness. Solenzi and Lee are similar size and going for the same ball, but it's broken their way to Haaland. Stone. Oh, Little had come up to make an angle for the pass that Stone was trying to fashion. Pearce also well forward. And that was Little trying to tee up Stone on the edge of the area.
And no negative thoughts now for Forrest. They're 1-0 down. They know they have to score. And as I said, that can help you when you're a little bit worried about the game and it's 0-0. You don't want to be the one that makes a mistake that costs you a goal. Well, they don't have to worry about that now. They're 1 down, so nothing negative in any of their thoughts now, but going forward and pressing for an equaliser. And I think that'll quite suit this Villa side. They've got some good pace and some good people who can break quickly. And that will be the thing that Forrest will have to be careful about.
With Solenzi coming on, it's still very much along the lines of 4-4-2 for Frank Clark. What do you think about giving a third forward up against a three-back for Villa? Oh, it's a mistake by Bosnich now. Lee. And the linesman and the referee in harmony here in giving a decision to let Villa off the hook. It's Bosnich off the hook in particular.
No, it's just sloppy. Just sloppy. I think he's to complain that he shouldn't have had the ball in the first place. But he's got so much time at Bosnich. Trying to flick it up and, well, complete hash of it. And that's because Solenzi put him under pressure and, well, Gareth Southgate does well, doesn't commit himself, stands big, stays his ground.
Manager's nightmare, a goalkeeper who fancies himself as an outfield player. He did the sensible thing there.
Matt Bosnich has had to work very hard at that part of his game, Martin. He was awful at dealing with the ball back. He was a terrible kicker of the ball. About 4 or 5 years ago when he first arrived at Aston Villa. He's had to work really hard on that part of his game.
Just go back to what I was saying earlier, Andy. Would you throw a third forward up to this to perhaps do something along the lines of what Wimbledon achieved against Newcastle, just by having plenty of...
I would have thought of that earlier, but I know Frank Clark isn't one for changing systems too readily, Martin. I would have thought of that at half-time, just to give the back three something different to think about, to see whether they go man for man, and then put three narrow in midfield to combat maybe Johnston, Draper and Taylor, who have really, one of them at least has managed to find space time and time again.
It's Johnson here. York. Draper. Play spread beautifully by Southgate. Here's Tommy Johnson. Well, he can hit them with his right foot.
Well, we watched Villa at Southampton and I was impressed with that. This I felt was going to be a much sterner test for them. And I'll tell you, they've played even better today in the opening hour of this match. It's been a really, really good performance from Aston Villa. And that without the trio of Irish internationals that you've already mentioned.
Stone, very much an England international these days. Regarded as the talisman for the victory over Switzerland, to which he contributed so much. Draper, who has ambition certainly of catching Terry Venables' eye. York left it run for Taylor. Johnson has had so many touches of the ball in this game. Echiok.
Well, Pat Williams and Haaland must be absolutely shattered, Martin, admit what they've had to do without the ball.
Keeper couldn't be sure that Crossley could come and claim that, and he did the right thing, not without some difficulty. Kettle's header, drop from Milosevic. Down he goes, and the keeper's tackle seemed to make contact with the ball. Bart Williams. Did well to get out of the way of Tommy Johnson. Siding challenge then. Johnson, one of the Villa players booked in the first half, was taking a bit of a risk going in like that.
Well, yeah, with this referee, that's for sure.
They are still working very hard indeed, and Forest finding it hard to get out of their own half.
That's great play. That's when if you're a manager, you'd be applauding your players just now, Martin. The way they forced Stuart Pearce after, what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 passes. The Forest just didn't go anywhere, had nowhere to go. He shut all the doors, and Stuart Pearce had only the one option, back to his goalkeeper.
Got away from Ekyog. Silenzi. Lee was in the way, but he got it where he wanted it the second time, to Little. Well, there's extra height now in the centre for the crosses. Not that there have been many of them.
Oh, that's admirable, isn't it? Away from home, at a side like Forest.
But they'll be very annoyed if it doesn't lead them to victory.
And it's only one goal, yeah.
As we've been telling you, Aston Villa, the last side to win a Premiership game here against Nottingham Forest back in January. One of the 15 games without defeat for Forest since then. They also won here on their previous visit. They were going for the Championship back in 1993. With a goal from Paul McGrath.
No, that's going to collect us out on that. A Villa goal for Maka.
Supported well by Haaland. Silenzi's in the centre. Well, the effort etched all over Silenzi's face then. That's what Forest need in abundance.
I didn't think he had to go to the ground there. I thought the ball was holding up quite nicely for him.
Played once for Italy. Back in 94. Season in which he finished the third highest scorer in Serie A behind Signori and Zola, equal with Robbie Baggio, so he's been in some good company. York. Cooper was very determined then, he needed to be, otherwise Draper could have got past him. Actually, Draper's pulled up, hurt from the challenge. Right on the ball. And Mark Draper in some distress at the moment. Still over 20 minutes to go. Milosevic. Draper didn't want it, as you can tell. Maybe an opportunity for one of the two youngsters that Brian Little's brought in as a substitute today.
We're certainly struggling, Mark Draper. We'll try and run it off. It was obviously in that block tackle with Colin Cooper. Sometimes if you just hang a leg there, you know, you can come off the worst.
Cooper certainly didn't hang a leg. He knew he had to get something on it, otherwise Forrest might have been embarrassed behind him. Haaland, Bart Williams has a ball on to Pearce. He won't accept defeat. And he gets it back from Milosevic. Now Gemmell. Villa collectively hesitated for a moment. They got going again when Alan Wright stepped in. And Draper moving better now, as if he's running off the problem. Wright. York. Well, it's a shame for Johnson, he's kept the momentum of his play up well. And in that position, not really a midfield man, not really up front. Hard to pin down.
Well, certainly Forrest have found them hard to pin down.
Lee. Stone. Wilson beaten by the bounce. Little. Pierce. The sight of goal for him. It was going wide, and Bosnich went down like a man who enjoyed the exercise.
Yeah, I think it might have just come off the defender, Hugo Jog, there as he went out to block him. Whether the goalkeeper sensed to get it, he certainly did get a little something on it, and I think maybe Mark Bosnich knew that, and his aim was to prevent the corner.
Cooper. Taylor's offside. Forest haven't won in the league since that 7-0 drubbing, which came as such a shock to them and a surprise to the rest of us at Blackburn. And their very impressive unbeaten run, which had reached 25 games. They've still only lost one of their last 28 in the league. And you put it into that context, see how well Villa have performed here. They're still 18 minutes or so from celebrating a victory. And in that time, you would expect Forest to find something in an attacking sense. Pierce pressing on here, they've produced the corner.
You almost felt the ship people trying to cross Gary Charles and the ball into the middle there.
Capable of doing that.
Such is his determination.
Now Villa will have to get their marking right here at this corner. They've got Salensi and Lee to deal with, and Chettle in there as well. Bosnich. Well, a little grimace there, says so much. He flailed the first time, and the ball sat up perfectly for him to collect the second.
The goalkeepers, more than any other player on the pitch, need a little bit of luck.
Bart Williams. Pierce has to go and collect it. Forest have been something of a draw specialist. 11 draws in their 23 games in League and Cups. So maybe an equaliser wouldn't be the biggest surprise given that statistic, but given the shape of this game, it would be somewhat undeserved at the moment.
Well, they managed to pinch a late one at Villa Park.
Are you backing Des Little to do it again here?
I've been known keeping my back on Stuart Pearce if you're asking about the full-backs.
York. Right. Milosevic. Screening it away from Cooper. Back with Wright again. Milosevic again.
Well, they got a free kick, but quite clearly should have just played the ball back to Alan Wright. Played the ball into him, made a great run on the outside. All it needed was a little ball just played straight back into his path. And he was crossing it into the 18-yard box.
But it is a free kick to Aston Villa. To be taken by Draper. To be headed away by Chettle. Back to Draper again. His control was poor. Stoke. Newcastle nor Manchester United able to win yesterday. It's a big step forward for Aston Villa if they can maintain their drive towards 3 points here at the City Ground. York. Taylor. Slipped as he hit it.
Well, I don't know if Hugo Jog spotted Alan Wright, but if he did, that's the ball of the match. From almost the right-back area to outside left. Oh, what a pass that was. I thought he was picking out Dwight York. Suddenly Wright popped up onto that pass. Great ball.
Draper. To Aston Villa last season when they only stayed up on the very final Sunday. They secured their future then. Consistency this season has been a great improvement. Pierce, two players slipping now as if the ground is beginning to crisp up with the undersoil heating off. Silenzi. Little. Lightning about to strike twice for Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. Little, who got that last-minute equaliser at Villa Park earlier this season.
It was a little bit closer that day, though. I think about 3 yards. But Silenzi turns and twists 2 or 3 times. Quite cleverly spots Little at the edge of the box. Taking a touch on it meant he hurried the shot a little.
Will tell you that it's only in that defeat at Arsenal this season that he feels Villa have really let themselves down. They need to be strong now. Southgate is just that to knock it away. Johnson can't keep it in. Forrest will want to get the game restarted quickly, but there's no one coming to collect any attempted throw. Not immediately. Stone.
Because of this goal, he's asking the referee, Dwight York, how long to go. As Gary Charles comes in and pops that pass up, it's from here that York comes to life. He's run round the back of the defender as soon as he's popped it off. And there he goes. He's round the back of the defender. Oh, it's a lovely goal.
But will it be a winning goal?
Yeah, they'd certainly like the second. No doubt about that. And his strike partner really should have provided Villa with that second. But at 1-0, well, this game is such, we've watched it for enough years and played it for enough years to know this game is such that anything can happen.
Haaland. Southgate there before Silenzi. Bart Williams. Johnson flying in, still trying to keep the pressure on. Forest do force a throw over by the corner flag. Little, Stoke. York's come back to cover Pierce on the edge of the area. That was good thinking from him. This is Bart Williams. Oh, Southgate's miskicked. Be construed as a back pass, but it can be construed as a corner. Bosnic says the whole of the ball didn't cross the line. The linesman disagrees.
Well, I think he might have a case. But there's pressure. Stuart Pearce will certainly hope to whip this in with a bit of pace.
Sheffield and Lee by the near post. That's where it goes. Just over Sheffield. Another corner, conceded by Draper. Bart Williams claims for another corner. Paul Durkin says no this time.
He was never in the right shape. Body shape was all wrong to be taking a shot on. Always under pressure, never settled, never comfortable.
Well, for Nottingham Forest and Frank Clark, the beginning of the match was below par. The middle of the match wasn't much better. Can they find something of a finer nature towards the finish? 10 minutes to go. Aston Villa for long periods, have played here with a great authority. And in his first full Premiership game, Schumacher has certainly done his bit.
He's played well, Martin. He's slipped into that position as if he's been playing there for years. In fact, Villa haven't had a bad player on the pitch.
Johnson. Well, Lighton was thinking about flagging Milosevic offside. It would have been almost criminal from his point of view if he had been caught offside. He was looking at the line of defenders. The ball never got there, and the flags was put quickly down again. Haaland, Lee. Stone. Big-hearted play from him. We expect that. And from Pearce. Trying to get it somewhere towards Silenzi. Lee knocks it down. Southgate drills it away on the half volley. Bart Williams. Well, Aston Villa's defending, getting a sterner examination now. Lee was trying to take it on the chest. It ran behind him towards Gemmell. Bart Williams. Now Pearce. Headed away by Efjog. Headed back by Chettle. Nottingham Forest really after the European exploration in midweek, wanting to get their minds right for this game and get the right sort of result. Stone! Well, what a season he's having. Everything he touches at the moment turns to gold for Nottingham Forest, for England, and a great goal here at a crucial time, and it is 1-1.
What a magnificent strike from Steve Stone. They've not looked like doing anything like this all day, and he pulls a rabbit out of the hat. It's a quite incredible strike. It bobbles about. It reacts so quickly. I thought he was going to shift it to the right, to Des Little, who's on his right. No such thought in his mind, and that nestles right in the top corner. That's a wonderful strike. But what a sickener if you're Aston Villa.
Well, last month he was a national hero. Today he's very much a Nottingham hero. Steve Stone, I'm sure, worried as to whether Frank Clark might pull him out of the England squad. And determined to go the distance here. And really, he said to the manager now, I dare you. More than Forest deserve?
Well, now you get, I mean, they deserve it because they've stuck at it, Martin. They've dug in, and they haven't conceded a second. And that's been a crucial part of the thing in this second half, is that Villa haven't managed to go 2 up. I think had they done so, the game would have been theirs, and it would have been done and dusted and won. I think the fact that it was 1-0 kept Forest going. And to be fair, they've put pressure on. They haven't still looked like scoring, haven't really tested the goalkeeper in any way. But we've said it all along, this game is such that we watch and love that anything can happen. And Steve Stone has given us a great example of that.
Well, they have been encouraging him here to get more often into scoring positions. But that was a goal where the ball was struck with superb timing. And in the context of the match, the timing was pretty good as well for Nottingham Forest. 5 minutes left. And could Forest go on to win it? They were looking to fight back here. Milosevic. And York. Milosevic. Pearce plays it to the goalkeeper and plays it off. Savo Milosevic. And it would have been a goal he wouldn't have known too much about.
I don't think his goalkeeper was too pleased with his skipper there. I mean, again, it's good interplay, good pass and move. He decides to try and take it through, and Stuart Pearce, well, it's a very, very close to his goalkeeper if you're looking to pass it back. I think maybe looking for a corner would have been the ideal thing. But Crossley got lucky. Could have gone anywhere off Milosevic. Went to safety.
And this match could go either way now. Efjog. But how similar to the way it unfolded between the two teams at Villa Park in September. Poland. Little. Brought out well by Draper. Southgate. Cooper making sure that he does his job now. There's a point to protect. Others in the Forest side will be thinking about a glorious victory here with something happening even later on this chilly evening in the East Midlands. Free kick given against Wright. Stone, who else takes the free kick? Pearce. Little. Haaland. Southgate. And again. It was Stone piling in. And the Forest fans wanting their team to just be a little bit more alert. They've put a lot into the match, chasing shadows for long periods of it. Now they're chasing an unlikely victory. Draper. Johnson. Draper. Draper shots! Goal kick, and with the ball out of play, Andy, your thoughts on man of the match?
Well, it's right on cue. Most of the good individual performances I feel today have come from people in Villa jerseys. And it's been a really good team performance. It's been between two, in my opinion. Dwight York, the goal scorer, and the one who's actually going to win it, and that's Mark Draper, who's my Carling Premiership man of the match.
Well, man of the match against the club he used to follow as a youngster. Family here, I'm sure, to enjoy the display as well. Well, we're in the 90th minute. And Forest are on the attack.
They couldn't pinch it, could they?
They could. Bart Williams. Certainly they could with Stone involved. What's he going to come up with here? It's a pass, not a great pass for Little, but he's got there.
That gives you a chance to have another look at that quite stunning strike from Steve Stone. And believe me, it has to be. Mark Bosnich is a fine goalkeeper, great shot stopper. But such is the power and accuracy in that shot. Gives him no chance.
Stone again. And Forest have 5 forward. Bart Williams could make it 6. Haaland towards the height of Lee. And if Bart Williams had been a bit further forward, he might have got there. In the end, he was able to turn into a challenge. Now it's Chris Bart Williams. Hasn't been a day for Frank Clark to enjoy, except for the last 10 minutes. Steve Stone with an absolutely splendid goal, robbing Aston Villa of victory at the City Ground. So a domestic draw for England's European adventurers. Dwight York had crowned Villa's performance with a goal early in the second half, and really, if Milosevic had buried the headed chance that he had shortly after that, it would have been game over. But Stone has come up trumps again. Forest have now drawn exactly half their 24 competitive matches this season. They're still very hard to beat, and they've got a point today without really playing to their potential, and certainly without quite the cutting edge that they had last season. Villa very disappointed, so close to climbing to third place. That's where they would have gone if they got the 3 points. They maintain a 2-point gap between these two clubs, and though they haven't taken that chance to go third, they've shown again how competitive they are these days under Brian Little. 1-1, let's join Nick Collins.
Thanks, Martin. I've got Steve Stone down here. Steve, well done on your equaliser. Forest seemed to take a long time to get going. Was that a reaction to your exertions in Europe, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think Aston Villa just played really well the first half. We never got going, and I think they just deservedly went 1-0 up, really. Pleased to get the goal in the end to make it 1-0.
Once they scored, you seemed to find another gear.
Well, that seems to happen quite a bit here, you know. I mean, the opposition scores and we seem to find a bit more life. I think we've got to start finding a bit more life from the first whistle instead in the second half, you know.
Also been joined by Dwight York. Dwight, well done on your goal. Do Villa feel a little hard done by that you only came out with a point?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the Forest is always going to be a difficult team to play against. Obviously, the records show for itself. We come in, I think we're a bit hard done at the end of the day, but all credit to Forest in the day. They showed a true quality. Although we're a bit disappointed at the end of the day, but that's just one of them things.
Now, you dominated the first half without getting the goal, and yet the second half starts and virtually the first chance, and you've managed to convert it.
Yeah, I mean, what I can remember is Charlo has played a ball just in there to Tommy Johnson. He's missed control and he's come to me, and I can see Savo there. And just a great return pass, and I took it in my stride, and just happy to see it go into the back of the net, really. Just delighted.
Well, that's double figures for the season now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. As a striker, that's what you aim for, double figures, and hopefully that you can build on it throughout the season. As I said, it's been a great season so far for the Villa players, and true, as I said, the staff has been pretty well as well. They've done their job, and hopefully that we can carry on from there.
Let's bring Steve back in here. You seem to be cornering the market on important goals for Forest at the moment this season. Tell us a little about your goal.
I just remember, I think I flicked it on somewhere along the line. Jason's got it here. It's a bit of a muddle up coming up, and I've just seen it and struck it, you know. Please keep it under the bar for once.
Beautifully struck, though.
I'm having a look now. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I don't usually strike a ball that well, but I'm happy with that.
Listen, how's the knee? Is it going to stand up if you're asked to play another 90 minutes on Tuesday for England?
Well, hopefully. I mean, I'm having to rest in between games at the minute, which doesn't help. But I'm getting a lot of anti-inflammatory tablets and a lot of treatment, and the physio's done his job, so hopefully I'll be able to, if I get picked on Tuesday, I'll be able to play.
So if selected, you could play the full 90, you think?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll wish you luck with that. And Dwight, also, well played today. Thanks very much.
Reading between the lines, if selected, he will play 90 minutes. Try stopping him. 1-1 then at the City Ground. All of Saturday's goals coming up very shortly. Also the thoughts of Nigel Clough and Kevin Richardson when we come back. 1-1, Forest and Aston Villa. So 1-1 at Forest's City Ground. Steve Stone and Dwight York, the goal scorers. Somewhere up there in that foggy, misty sky, our airship. It really is bitterly cold in Nottingham this afternoon. And getting, as I say, a little foggy now as well on the banks of the Trent. 1-1 here, 12 attempts from Forest, 5 on target, 22 from Villa, on target 7 times. 15 fouls in 90 minutes, 5 players booked. First half action areas dominated by Aston Villa, who had the better of the possession over the 90 minutes as well. Second half, that was a bit better for Nottingham.